Hasbro just had their fourth quarter earnings call, and they basically got punched in the face. But there's a lot more to discuss than just what happened to Hasbro's stock, because what Chris Cox revealed about what's going to be happening with Magic the Gathering is going to be information players need to know about. So in this video, guys, we're going to discuss some of these new uptrends we are going to see in products like Universes Beyond, Bloomborough, Final Fantasy. We have a lot to cover. Stick around. I would like to tell you with the Magic 8 Ball that the outlook looks good, but that's not the way it's going to play out for Magic the Gathering players in 2024 all the way into 2025. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on the channel today. There's a lot to cover, but before we get started, if you enjoy the Moxman, if you like my content, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button and you'll get some of the Moxman in your face every single day, guys. Just turn on that notification bell and you will see me every day, same bat time, same bat channel. Now, back to our regularly scheduled program, in this case, bashing Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast. So here's what's going on, guys. Let's break this down because it's the news of the day. Hasbro stock is down. It's not down that much. Last I looked, it was like 1.35%. A little minuscule. They have a lot of stuff on their balance sheets they've been trying to correct ever since the COVID heights where they had things being pumped out. They've lowered their inventory levels, kept their warehouses pretty sparse, pretty bare. They are below their pre-pandemic levels, which means they're not making tons of stuff overseas, shipping it over here to send out to everyone. They're just keeping the inventories low. Because stores are keeping their inventories low. Because distribution is keeping their inventories low. Nobody wants your stuff. Now, they also had trouble with toys still. Toys aren't doing well. We know they laid off some of their labor force, right? We lost a whole big chunk of people there. I think it was 1,100 people. I remember reporting on that. You can look it up in my previous videos. Just type in Hasbro and quarter results and you'll get all kinds of videos I've done. But there's a lot more that I want to cover than just this, okay? It's great. Bad news everywhere. Hasbro gets punched in the face. But let's get to the serious side. Let's talk about Magic the Gathering because that's really what we care about. It's great if you own stock in the company, but how does this relate to Wizards of the Coast and the company? Because Wizards still made them some money. Really low. They said single digits, like 3 to 5%, but they still made them money, even after everything going on. Even after they sold E1 Entertainment and they reduced all kinds of debt and they're trying to balance things out. They, guys, meaning the beautiful people at Wizards of the Coast, still managed to make them some money. Now, we all know that they made like $200 million just from Lord of the Rings. Okay, just Lord of the Rings. And the sales are still continuing, although it's much quieter in the secondary market. We don't hear much about it now, but packs sell every day. Boxes still get ordered from distribution and still show up at the local retail level. I know this very well from all the stores. But Chris Cox made some very interesting comments when asked some pointed questions about Dungeons & Dragons that was supposed to pick up the slack in 2024 and into 2025, and it didn't. I wonder what went wrong. Did they try to change around their licensing deal and it didn't go well? That's right. But then they focused on some question sections about, that's right, Magic the Gathering. The saving golden goose of this entire company. They mentioned licensing IP deals that will be continuing through into some more premier sets. Now, a premier set is not Fallout. That's a nice little thing. It's fun. Great. Universes Beyond product, but it's not an entire set unto itself. We're going to see it with Final Fantasy. We are also going to see it, of course, with Marvel. But what he noted in that was there are going to be multiple products. Not just one. It's not just one set. Multiple releases of this product, which means probably into the next year, we'll have more sets. And they said there'll be 2 premier sets per year. Now that's interesting because we haven't had that before. That's a new thing being added in. As he mentioned, they had tailored down a whole bunch of smaller products, which of course we knew. We've seen that on the store shelves. But now, just like some of the other products that Wizards of the Coast has been creating, they're creating something bigger, badder, better. But you know what bigger, badder, better means? More money. It'll have a higher price point. Do you think they're going to mark Marvel boxes at a regular price? Is that going to happen? Of course we knew it wouldn't happen. But if the product is successful, if Final Fantasy is successful, these licensing deals will carry on. You think we've seen the end of Lord of the Rings after making $200 million? Nope. It'll come around to some other iteration or some new separate premiere release. Now that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. But what bothers me is not that they'll give us some amazing products, which we will get to pick and choose. Remember that. But what's happening is, although they got slapped in the face with a whole bunch of their product lines not doing well, especially the retail section, they mentioned the retail sector didn't do well. Like board games and stuff is all down, toys are down. But it does mean that they're going to lean more and more on Wizards of the Coast. And that means the price point for some of these premier products will be higher. They'll be at probably, I'm guessing, and this is purely my opinion, my guess, somewhere around what we've seen things like Modern Horizons 2 boxes at. They'll have some special stuff. We're definitely going to have serialized cards. I can predict that now. Serialized cards, Wolverine 1 of 1, it's going to blow somebody's mind to be able to get that. Okay, Magneto 1 of 1. Deadpool 1 of 1. Wolverine and Deadpool together. You can see how they can tie in movies and releases. They can do crazy stuff. But the price point will be commensurate with the value they are offering you in those boxes. And they know the minds of players. They know the minds of the consumer in which they are selling these products to. So if you think that you know what's going to happen, you ain't seen nothing yet. The success of Lord of the Rings will breed an entire new industry of higher priced products. And you know what's funny? We've actually been seeing this in their toy lines for a while. The transforming Optimus Prime, the transforming Grimlock, the faces you can put directly onto G.I. Joe figures and have them shipped right to your house, like right out of Big Bang Theory. That stuff costs more and more money. Okay? That's where they're going. They are going after the consumers that can afford the higher price point. And this is interesting because they did this in their toy lines for quite a while, but eventually it petered out. Does that mean that these products will peter out? Sure, but you're looking at a 10-year span for everyone to become exhausted buying these products. It takes time. It doesn't matter if you as the individual watching my video right now says, well, I'm not buying that. I'm skipping it and going to get a taco with the Taco King. You can do that all you want. Most of the other people are not going to follow you. They're going to get excited. They're going to jump on board. I'm going to be there. I can't help it. You're giving me Marvel, something I know I should stay away from until it hits the singles market, but I'm going to buy it. I'm telling you now I'm going to buy it. Because I know. I don't want you guys coming back and saying, you said you wouldn't buy that. Yes, I am going to buy it. I know I will. Now, they mentioned, though, another set that players are super excited for. They didn't mention Thunder Junction. They didn't mention Karlov Manor. But they sure mentioned Bloomborough as going to be a hit set of the year. Well, why would that be? How would they know ahead of time that that is going to be a hit set? Because they made it that way. They are making sure revenue is coming in. They also said that Modern Horizons 3 has the players just super excited and stoked for its release. And they're not wrong. Chris Cox drives me insane. Okay? But they make good products that are going to get players going. So all you guys out there with FOMO, that fear of missing out, it's going to get bad. For all you players who say you're going to stay away, maybe you will. Maybe you're lying to yourself in a closet as you close the door saying, I'm not going out to buy the cards. Because you're going to. We all are. Because they know us better than we know ourselves. And this is where they are going to make money. This is where it is going to reach further and further into our pockets. We're not going to be getting new cards or better cards. We're just getting more expensive cards. And that's where, for a while, we'll just be excited to be able to play these products. And they'll give us the next IP and the next IP. The Marvel one, when he's mentioned it's going to be a multi-expansion, multi means more than one. Into 2025, which means we're going to see some this year and some next year. How interesting is that to hear them reveal stuff like that when they haven't announced it anywhere that we're going to get it? This is when you listen to the earnings call and you listen behind the scenes. You can hear all the things about forward-speaking statements and all the little jibber-jabber for investors. But listen to what they're saying about where their products are being sold, what products are being looked at, and where some of these new enterprises are coming from. You know, we're going to make a little bit of money from the D&D licensing deals. We're going to make some doing the D&D TV show with Paramount. They're expanding things out. They are broadening things. But they're always going to be at a higher price point. And right now, like I mentioned in my third quarter earnings, they're still depending on Wizards of the Coast to get a lot of this done. They're leeching money from there to make the other product lines become more successful longer term. And that means they're just draining the cash as fast as they can. And I'm not saying it's not going to be worth it. I want you guys to understand that. I haven't seen these products. I don't know. I already thought Bloomberg was going to be amazing. Just from the artwork alone. The title, the imagination of the story had got me. Now things like this, when he says it's going to be successful, makes me wonder, what did you put in that set? What is in there? What's in Modern Horizons 3 that you know is going to be a hit? And if we're going to see multi-sets of Marvel, are we going to see a main Marvel core set? And then all kinds of expansion sets that are shorter, smaller, Commander decks themed? Like, guys, they have a lot of play space when they start getting players this excited, including myself. And now I'm dying to see what's coming up next. Can't wait. I hope you guys are as excited and as scared as I am right now. Because I am both at the same time. I understand where the company is taking me. I understand how dangerous the road is. But I still want to get on that ride. And that's called the hype train. That's a scary ride sometimes. Pay attention. Because this is not going to be good for your pocketbook. And it's probably not good for the long-term health of the game to only go up in price. Guys, thanks a lot for hanging out with me today. Drop some comments in the comments section if you think I missed anything or you want to drop a comment about some of the stuff I was talking about in today's video. I look forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow. Have an awesome day. Hey guys, a big shout out, a thank you to the fantastic patrons who are here supporting the channel each and every day. Because of these amazing patrons, daily uploaded content is made possible for everyone on YouTube to enjoy. So thanks again to each and every one of them. My YouTube membership members, my viewers, thanks everyone. Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble, guys. Now, for those of you who made this far in the video, boomstick, of course, a boomstick. But let's get serious here for a minute. The idea that all these cost savings for the company are happening because they have, you know, smaller amount of brands, but they're bigger hitting brands. Wizards of the Coast is one of them, okay? Magic is one of them. It is their biggest selling product. It makes sense to me that they want these products to be successful. They're checking at their costs and shipping and all these point of sale stuff. But when you look at the products and the cards within, we talked about a year ago how it would take Wizards time to turn the ship, and I kept mentioning videos where I'd say they're playing the hand they were dealt, which means things that were already on the drawing board for this company, sets that were already coming down the pipe, like Murders at Karlov Manor, things they can't avoid because they already had it coming down the pipe. They've already printed it, they've already created it, the R&D and development's gone in, and let's face it, the cardboard's cheap, doesn't cost them much. And they have a linear timeline of what they expect. So these cards are going to interact with X, Y, Z, okay? Picture it. You know, these cards connect to here, get us to Bloomburrow. Modern's going to have these releases which will upgrade or downgrade things like Ragavan or the Orcish Bowmaster, or cards in Lord of the Rings will fit with these, causing price spikes. There's a lot of connections that go on with these, and people just fail to recognize it over and over again. And it drives me insane because you can see it if you look hard enough, if you pay attention. And people can say, oh, it's a tinfoil hat. No, it's not tinfoil hat. It's good marketing. It's good marketing. That's all it is. It's marketing at its finest. Understanding the consumer and what they expect from your product to give them a pleasant playing experience to the best of your ability. So what does this mean? It means the Moxman is going to be looking very hard at cards that I think are going to interact with Bloomburrow. Cards I think are going to interact into Modern Horizons. I have not done this in a while, but I'm looking at it. And I will put out a video some point. It might be a private video for my patrons first, just to give them a heads up on what I think is coming down the pipe. And I'll probably leave a link for YouTube membership members as well, guys. I have to see. I may not do it. I'm thinking about it. Depends on what I find. But this is very interesting to me. Also, the Marvel thing being a multi-release format kind of setting as a premiere set. Like Final Fantasy is a premiere set. It's its own set unto itself. Okay, that's kind of how they describe it. And seeing that for things like Lord of the Rings, but then going forward, seeing 2 sets a year, That's a lot. That's an expensive product that we're going to have to contend with, and they have to see if the appetite is there long term for players to pay those prices. But if the cards are good enough, if there's enough hype and excitement, they will be. It's taken them a while to turn the ship, but as they turn around to this higher price point, they realize, they recognize they can't thin out the juice right now. They got to keep the juice flowing. Good consistency. They got to have some flavor for us to enjoy. They got to have us sucking it back because we want it so bad. Guys, it is going to be fascinating to me to see how this all comes around. But I'm going to be paying really close attention now to see what cards I think are going to come around that maybe we can capitalize on before the spikes come. Just saying. There's no way they would mention key sets like that without something being behind that. I have to believe that. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Any private emails, send them to me. I will do my best to answer, okay? Thanks again, guys. Have a great one.